My original plan was to ride the piano technique train to five-finger exercise land, then make a stop at scale station, and then on to arpeggio world. Well, we've been to five-finger exercise land, we went to scale station, but after thinking about it for a while, I've decided to add another stop before we go to arpeggio world. We're going to make a side trip to the land of broken chords. Now, you might be thinking, aren't broken chords and arpeggios the same thing? Well, I must admit, I've been guilty of using those two terms interchangeably, but actually they are two different things. Arpeggios occur when the notes of a chord are played in succession, moving continuously in one direction, something like this. Those are arpeggios. Now, in broken chords, the notes of a chord are played in patterns which modulate up and down the keyboard. Something like this, goes up and down. Now, it occurred to me that you will actually use broken chords more often than pure arpeggios when playing popular songs. Broken chords are very useful in playing fills and runs when you are playing from a chord chart. Now, I've used arpeggios, of course, a lot of times when I was playing live. I would end a piece and play a big arpeggio at the end. Or if I had a lot of space in some arrangement, I could really play with the tempo. I would use arpeggios. But a lot of times I found myself using broken chords as part of a fill and scales to fill in as well. Broken chords and scales. And you will use arpeggios too on occasion, but I wanted you to see the difference between broken chords and arpeggios. So we're going to start with broken chords. And of course, what that will do is prepare you for playing arpeggios. So let's take a look at some broken chord exercises. These exercises are adapted from the book The Complete Pianist by Penelope Roskell. They are designed primarily for someone studying to play classical music, and they can be endlessly beneficial for those of us who want to play popular songs, hymns, or jazz. When playing broken chords, it helps to be sure that you are completely familiar with the chord that you are breaking. We'll start by playing the block chord so that you can get comfortable with the shape of the chord under your hand. We are working primarily with the right hand in this video, since when we start using scales and broken chords and arpeggios to play runs and fills, we will mostly be doing these things with the right hand. Now later on, your left hand may join in with some arpeggios, but we'll get to those in a later video. Now the fingering of each inversion depends on the shape of the chord. If you have average size hands, you'll find that these fingerings work pretty well. So what we're going to do is play the block chord and then the broken chord. So notice in that first set, the fingering is 1, 3, 5, but in the second one, it's 1, 2, 5. Then back to 1, 3, 5, and then 5, 3, 1, 5, 2, 1, 5, 3, 1. Now we can play without the block chords. 5, 3, 1, 5, 2, 1, 5, 3, 1, 1. Now let's do some 4-note block chords and then break those 4-note block chords. So there's the block chord. Notice the fingering here should fit under your hands. 1, 2, 3, 5. And then we have this one. This could be a little bit of a stretch because you have this stretch between 2 and 4. Remember to always keep your hand as relaxed as you can. And your forearm should be kind of lined up with your third finger here. You don't want your arm to be out like this or your hand to be this way. There's the block chord, broken chord, block chord. Now here, there's 2 different fingerings that we can use. I have put in 1, 2, 4, 5. That's what lies comfortably under my hand, but you might like this fingering better. 1, 2, 3, 5. Either one is okay. Whatever works better for you. We've already done this chord, but now it's an octave higher. And now we can play the broken chords without the block chords. Take it nice and slow. Keep your hand relaxed. And we're coming back down. Now the fingering that I've included here will fit the average size hand. Now, let's say you want to play a series of broken chords working your way up the keyboard. The position of your thumb is important here. Your thumb needs to be constantly moving. As soon as it has played a note, it starts to move to the next. And it's helped along by a sideways motion of your forearm. Also, you'll find your hand closing in on itself and opening up again. In other words, this kind of motion. Your thumb comes under, now your hand is closing up, and then as you play the chord, you play the broken chord, your hand stretches out again. As you practice this exercise, you'll feel that opening and closing of the hand and also that gentle motion of your forearm. This will help you play more smoothly and eventually with more speed. Now, this may seem like a lot to think about, but it will pay off when you want to play a series of broken chords as part of a fill when you're playing a song. Now, watch what my thumb does here as we go up. I hit this note and it immediately comes under, and it's ready to play the E. And then here, it moves right away. It's ready to play the G, and same thing here. This way, we can keep right on going. And so on. When we're coming back down, it is now the 5th finger's job to move. But watch how this works. Up to this point, your 5th finger can't really go anywhere. But once you play this note with your thumb, and this finger comes up, your 5th finger is now free to move down here. And it prepares you to play the next inversion of the broken chord. 5th finger moves, and we can keep going down. So I'll play the whole thing going up and down. Watch my thumb going up and my 5th finger coming down. Thumb moves. Thumb moves here, and then coming down. 5th finger is ready. 5th finger moves. And now you can see how you might be able to extend this going even farther. Now let's try some 4-note broken chords. Once again, you'll feel your thumb close in towards the hand to release the stretch between the last note of the group of 4 and the next note. So for example, here. Your thumb moves because there's a bit of a stretch there. There we are. Thumb is moving. Thumb moves. Notice here you could also use the 1, 2, 3, 5 fingering, if you like. So we practice first with just stopping on the note so that your hand can find its spot. Of course, you can keep going all the way up. And now we put the groups of 4 together without stopping. Notice going up, my thumb moves to get in position to play the next group of 4. Thumb moves, it's moving again, ready to go, and then coming down, the 5th finger does the work. As soon as the thumb hits, the 5th finger is free to move. When you practice this one, practice while looking at your 5th finger. Make sure it lands in the right place. And then, for an extra challenge, play it with your eyes closed so that your hand can learn to feel the intervals. Now, you won't be able to tell if I'm doing it, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Practice it without looking. You can also practice going down this way, just like we did going up. Notice my 5th finger moving into place, and then now if you find that you're having trouble with your 4th finger, if it plays weakly or it disturbs the rhythm of the exercise, makes it sound bumpy and uneven, you can modify the rhythm of a basic broken chord exercise so that the 4th finger plays on the beat. So it's like this. That will eventually help that 4th finger to get up to speed. Finally, we have what are called rotational broken chords. So I want you to follow the fingering very carefully here. We're basically playing this broken chord, and then this first inversion, second inversion, and we're back on the root. And then here, these are more like groups of 4. Eventually you can as your fingers get more and more efficient and you gain more and more finger independence and finger strength, these type of runs with broken chords can be very effective. If you listen to the music of Elton John, especially some of his early stuff where the piano is very prominent, he uses broken chords all over the place. For example, this might sound familiar to you Elton John fans. There's a broken chord. Another song he does. Broken chords. So you'll find those very useful when you begin to play songs on your own. Now, you're not done. You can take these exercises that I've shown you and play them in different keys. You can play them with different tempos, play them very, very slowly, speed them up gradually as you become more and more comfortable. You can play them with different dynamics, play them very quietly, play them with force, with forte. Don't strain, though. Always stay relaxed. Keep your arm in the right position. Keep your fingers in a comfortable place as far as the fingering. The possibilities here, of course, are endless, but the results will be worth the effort. So stick with it, and you will soon see how we can put all these things to good use. Thank you for watching. I hope you have found this helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave those in the comment section. I make every effort to respond to the comments, answer any questions that you might have. If you'd like to support my work here at Home with Music, you can go to my Patreon page. The link will be right there in the description. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. That helps the channel a lot. You can also like this video too while you're at it. Anyway, thanks again, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one when we go on to Arpeggio World.